Welcome to a Legendarium special about Amenemhat, the Builder-Pharaoh of ancient Egypt. In this installment, we will talk about the pharaoh who helped to develop the Fayum Basin, the place where Egyptian civilization as we know it may have begun. By the year 1957 BC, Mentuhotep II completed his life's work of reuniting Egypt and founded what became known to later generations as the Middle Kingdom of ancient Egypt. The successor of Mentuhotep II, imaginatively named Mentuhotep III, reigned from 1957 BC to 1945 BC. He continued his father's policies of economic and military expansion, but also enlarged their scope. He sent an expedition south to Punt and fortified the boundaries of the northeastern Nile Delta, which had been targeted by Bedouin raiders after the Old Kingdom fell apart. A third king named Mentuhotep IV, apparently royal mothers were not very imaginative back then, took the throne from 1945 to 1938 BC. Unlike his father and grandfather, there are very few records about the reign of Mentuhotep IV other than that he sent his vizier, a man named Amenemhat, on an expedition to quarry stones in a region called the Wadi Hammamet. While quarrying stones, Amenemhat ordered an inscription made of amazing events which he witnessed. First, he recorded that he saw a gazelle give birth upon the stone which he chose for the lid of the king's sarcophagus. He believed this showed that the stone carried a blessing of fertility and life for Egypt and its ruling dynasty. Second, an unexpected rainstorm fell upon the party and created a well large enough to water everybody in the expedition. Amenemhat's propagandists later proclaimed that the gods used these miraculous omens to choose and anoint Amenemhat for the throne. Later generations conveniently discovered prophecies which supposedly predicted that a rightful king would come from the south and rule a united Egypt. Very convenient for a man who wanted to overthrow the king. Regardless of what royal spin doctors said, Amenemhat, for reasons not entirely clear, left Thebes after his expedition to the Wadi Hammamet. He set up a capital and court at Iti-Tawi, south of Memphis. The exact location of the city is unknown, but it probably lay near the old northern capital of Heracleopolis. The name Iti-Tawi means Amenemhat is he who takes possession of the two lands. Amenemhat hoped to show that he would be open to all Egyptians, not just the Thebans who ruled the kingdom during the reign of the three Mentuhoteps. Amenemhat did indeed take possession of the two lands, and almost certainly did so at the tip of a spear. During his reign, Amenemhat I revived the art styles of the Old Kingdom and created a powerful central authority that the Mentuhoteps failed to do so. Previously, powerful local families known as nomarchs controlled much Egyptian life and economy. During his reign, their lavish tombs went into decline, showing that these local notables came under the royal heel. Amenemhat also ordered the construction of canals along the Bahr Yusuf, which flooded the Fayum Basin and created the Great Lake Moeris. This also drained the swamps and created an artificially regulated lake in the place where Egyptian civilization may have begun more than 3,000 years before Amenemhat's time. While not a great power center, Lake Moeris became a haven for growing vegetables, corn, roses, vineyards, and olives. There the people worshipped a sacred crocodile called Petsuchos, or son of Sobek. The creature lived in a special temple with sand, a pond, and food, with special priests who served it food and drink, and even mounted gold and jewels upon its scaly skin. When the current Petsuchos died, the priests mummified the crocodile and honored it with a special burial. They then found a new crocodile for the people of Crocodilopolis, the great city of Lake Moeris, to worship. During the 20th year of his reign, around 1918 BC, Amenemhet I took his son Sesostris I as his co-regent to ensure a smooth transition of power. By doing so, he established a common practice for the Middle Kingdom, which ensured 2 centuries of peaceful government. During the decade he ruled with his father, Sesostris I carried out campaigns in Lower Nubia that brought Egyptian power as far south as the Second Cataract. While Sesostris I campaigned in Libya, Amenemhet died. It is unknown if old age murdered him or perhaps assassins. Regardless, after taking power, Sesostris I carried Egyptian power into the Levant, modern-day Palestine, in great raids that served as shows of royal power. King Senusret II ruled until 1878 BC and would be followed by his son, imaginatively named Senusret III, who ruled from 1878 to 1860 BC. The reign of Senusret III saw such peace and prosperity that men worshipped him as a god in his own lifetime, a rarity for the kings of the Middle Kingdom. Centuries later, he inspired legends preserved by Herodotus of an Egyptian king who campaigned in and colonized Europe before he conquered the whole world. In short, Amenemhat helped to establish a dynasty which became one of the most powerful and successful in the 3,000-year history of ancient Egypt. That wraps things up for this episode of The Legendarium. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day.